Elizabeth II positive for COVID-19 but robust, reassuring British media. This February 20th, Elizabeth II tested positive for COVID-19. While her health worries, the British media temper and reassure the British. The 95-year-old sovereign is robust, reports Liberation. Don't panic on board. Destabilized by the health of Queen Elizabeth II who tested positive for COVID, the United Kingdom fears for its sovereign. And for good reason. From the height of her 95 years, the monarch has shown herself to be more and more diminished since her recent hospitalization. But let the British be reassured, the mother of Prince Charles, already recovered too, is stronger than you think, underlines Liberation. This February 21st. She is aware that people of her age are more able to be vulnerable to the COVID, but it is quite robust, says Alastair Bruce, journalist at Sky News. Triple vaccinated, the sovereign therefore experiences only slight symptoms similar to those of a cold, according to the press release released by Buckingham. In addition, his personal Doctor Who Thomas and his army of doctors keep an eye on Prince Philip's wife. And despite the illness, the grandmother of Princes Harry and William do not intend to take long weeks of leave. She will continue to carry out light commitments during the coming week, while receiving medical care and following the appropriate guidelines. The weakened Queen, her son under investigation. After a dark year 2021, Queen Elizabeth II does not seem to have any respite. Tested by her fragile health, the monarch must once again face the gaps of her sons. After Prince Andrew accused of sexual assault by Virginia Giuffre, Prince Charles now finds himself in turmoil, under the blows of an investigation into donations transferred by a Saudi to one of his charities against the promise of a passport, reveals Liberation. These annoyances annoy the British public who are worried about the impact of this news on the health of their Queen, which they have a hard time even imagining that she could ever be there. Queen infected with COVID, one line in Buckingham Palace statement sparks concern. A Buckingham Palace statement about the health of the Queen who has been infected with COVID has sparked concern, after social media users focused on one telling phrase. The 95-year-old monarch tested positive for the virus days after both her son Prince Charles and his wife Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, fell ill. Buckingham Palace confirmed that the Queen has today tested positive for COVID, the palace said in the statement. Her Majesty is experiencing mild cold-like symptoms but expects to continue light duties at Windsor over the coming week. She will continue to receive medical attention and will follow all the appropriate guidelines. But one line in the palace's short statement caused concern among social media followers, with many honing in on the fact that the Queen was still expecting to continue light duties. She's in her 90s and she's still expected to carry out duties while ill, one concerned fan questioned on Twitter. No one expects you to carry out light duties, ma'am, another wrote. Please get yourself well for the Platinum Jubilee. Light duties, another gobsmacked commenter wrote. She's 95. Let her rest. The country will still cope if she never did in duties again. The Queen met with Prince Charles 2 days before he tested positive for COVID. It's understood she spent time with her son after she returned to Windsor Castle from Sandringham, where she had marked her ascension to the throne 70 years ago. Charles first tested positive at the start of the pandemic in March 2020. Focus on the Queen's health. The Queen's health has been in the spotlight in the months following the death of her beloved husband, Prince Philip, last April. In the past year she has been seen using a walking stick, and in October she spent a night in a London hospital for unspecified tests. Royal doctors ordered her to rest after that, and she was forced to cancel appearances at several key events, including Remembrance Sunday services and the COP26 climate conference in Glasgow, Scotland in November. This month she returned to public duties and has held audiences both virtually and in person with diplomats, politicians and senior military